bo wiase no said your bay wiase be pepe pentino ade chiempo no ebi de ba ntem jabi ade science obi de ba nche visually e chebi na mum nipa nyina esu eye baako cause who nipa who say we nipa ana odi ehye atoto asase mu de di kan odi nsuo na che asase mu owie na odi ehye toto mu ana odi kasa hodo echiche nipa mu and even uba Ghana has here we are your languages are I understand say our language about 100 and no 80 something languages so what you say a war moment no and ne meti hay even I can kasa kra na ye war e bi why say opoto I say a more than kakra unya ne plains that is the God that I serve.
Yeah.
Said any etie Ghana na me Ghana ni and I'm proud some me Ghana ni.
But that's all.
Oba Ghana so me en kwansa de she. If in kwansa do me abra. Kwansa north na me free.
But that's all.
Me di na chi ya ohene en kwansa do me abra. Me papa so ya ohene e Broma so. E won kwansa north ha. Me papa so free. Boaben baby monkeys no. E fie ti ase fo fie. Ono so e de she en kwansa north ha. Me papa enso so every country abusuam ewa ampoma
chirem
ani sa afie na me ni lodi na mahama nyina den free to me maame ne ohima ahofe papa first lady former first lady o se ahofe papa ahofe papa ofiri mabusuam o ye de share prekope sabi yankasa asem
ahofe na abusuam
yes asemba ye nyina na ekofie ba kom that is where me nchiri bi so de infinity me proud a bonoba a grandson this year na me Ghanani very proud
me that's it osapo chance obusu na wote ne nka no lawyer Martin
ya nua sije
awode wo hode
nyame tiase aya Ghana for and igwa so nti me ya Ghanani
chirem ozo chira wunchi
sa me ya chim ni pio o chima ndo she pa asuna ba me asuna ni ndo she pa kronkron udru on say between Osino and Samantha for the Queen mu no kro bi wo ya no ta kana nkase kro na nkasa ankase ni de hyem de kwan ho de na hu de friend jedem no me na be ma de friend twumbare man on na ye jedem mpanimfo
I see
jedem ko nyom na die ankase na ye mimbo minchi nti ankase hina akonwa me mitimi di mane yi
okay
nti jedem no yagonafo ana ankase ne asonafo nti agonafo no me nananam ne agonafo ana eye asona busuamu nso ana mefire nti medam yo chini pio enye 50-50 o chema ndo she konkron pa so dum se enso de ye ne bibia mu no ade ba ko ne ne je ho pa ne wa kra we yo chini ne she ye de hwe man nsai ye wo do pa so hwe man se no bo so gu ani masen so ye man ko man ni ani masen dan ani ti ne me de se me am ne akuma enti ha yi onne oba kire de ntia wono ne of ayi na so mpeso gu ani masen ensida
lawyer bedase pagre bati dam kwa
CJ bedase
pagre say
nyame adom eso me Ghana ni de
ozo yo tini
meso me yo tini me mame efi tafo atem tafo me mame ne mame amaboate mo friata na amaboate mo friata ne papa eni na no friata the first I know your hin ewo achimbebu akwa iti menso meye ochini dishie papa na oba achimtafo a na oba krodia fie na oba ochiami bumfie a achiami akoni ana efimifie iti dachi bia menso mo man wi na me kom nkokra bomu a metumi kokodi chiami ewo achimtafo
ema oyana osabe mo disappear
dasebre
disappear
ai dasebre ochiami akoni ano iti menso me ochini proper timi ndia be manie ye fie no wanye sofo a obeye lawyer wanye lawyer obeye politician wanye politician obeye doctor wanye doctor wobɛyɛ the philanthropist and
I see. I see. Uracha also can languages a woman. Macheke, we have over 80 languages, and the issue that just cropped up and kasani bebre extinct. Because nidi kind. Awofo no am ka omka kasa no e de kire mofra no wo monka kasa no ese nka bia somehow e kire wo school ma mofra no so etimi ehu se kasa bi se wo ho mo so beto aso no saa de kire no any schools teacher for kra am be kire saa kasa no ye nibi. And I think that on the occasion of your independence, I celebrate Ghana month, no, we can just use 2 minutes of our time to address this issue. Kasa hodwa, come and say, yeah, just 2 minutes, nothing. Come on, Kasa.
Sijeng, Mpensenpensenmu, say, we free, ukrum hine aben.
Yeah, we are with Jabasi.
It's an chair. So what won't say ukrum kasa. Oyira. What you say?
Yes.
And the I meshi kra keken say. Ghana for mo tu kan kwatra manone. Hwe men call for be Indians. I know Chinese for. Or the American. The Bako schools young prof or be fi Chinese. Or the Canada. They buy Indian. Or ko school osuan prof but obe fi nko an dia. Or Indian language. And to be share Indian near or America, or Canada, or UK, or come for wisi, or Tanico ni Krum Kasa. About what you say, oh, baby, you free, by young free. Person by your own identity. And now, two can go outside. Ghana for man, just a woman, citizens to behavior. A tank again. I mean, you say, as a Ghana crowd now, free my sway, any time cross over because I Ghana need. See, on one knee, but if you have four, trust them, say, Chabo Frana Quine on fast.
No, you
know, money on farm.
Yeah.
To we are and ne, if been cramped on Betchiromachi, if I'm baby on free by. When him Yamin say one, who didn't tell you, or mini piachum, or the mini piachum, or the copy of bono. Yeah, woman, my team and in a free bono. Men am here.
There be.
Tehonam copies and question. I didn't know how me say man copy before. Now, Honam copy.
I didn't say you're ferry.
I didn't say I'm ferry. Except make us say a honor me free. I am madness. Nanina say your policy now, you did what education. Indeed, yeah, says in some way, if you say, oh, global world, in your coffee, certain culture. And a diaba in Krum, no, now catch Casa or officer. We are here when you buso a crassini. I don't know buy a 1 cabrofo. Michelle Putin, a interview with this popular guy, or European American journalist.
Richard Quest?
No, not Richard. Nancy and Chabia.
Okay.
This popular guy. Throughout the interview, 1 cabrofo. No, one brofu back say one kabi.
Journalist ni busa
brofu no or the you can say Russian language no no na interpret actually ko me krum kasa na say me de ka asem
yeah
okay the French president na oba ha no mti brofu
yeah
won so oba ha e be ka brofu da omoba come krum kasa na interpreting what chilling because he is so proud say o free sa bia no so ti o de hwahwa ne ho e de na yehuni e de na yehunu o eman se ne ye tu ye de ato atwene gradually no ye tu o man ye kasa akra den ato atwene afọ obi kasa de aye bibia ya hwe ne yi a ebe ha dwen o ebe ha dwen because we ye ben unim de ntia nanan nyansam obi awu ade ne kofie ntina obi wu abrochire kwa na se enti farma se wunyu twa ne mawre na wuntwa ne tirimi na mumfa ne niema enka ho mfamra ye ba ne ho ne nipa kwae na ye twitwa no na ye de niema kakra ka ho ne ekosie the body neden abafi even though nipadua na ntima amba but yɛde na abafi ɛnyɛ kwa sɛ ɔba kamfo ya mamerim so yɛnsie obi wɔ ne maame krom agye na agya krom sɛ yɛbɛsie wɔ maame krom agye sɛ ɔmde odwan ɛkɔsɛ because nyɛ wo maame na ɛwɔ wo papa na ɛwɔ mogya na ɛwɔ mu no nyɛ ɛmfiri maame hɔ nti a wokɔyɛ DNA a maame ntimi nyɛ DNA ɛma yɛnhu sɛ ne ba ne menua lawyer but papa na yɛ DNA because mogya na yɛ papa na mogya na ɛwɔ mu ɛsie obi a wɔ ne gya atifi ne nyinaa yɛ amanneɛ ne amammerɛ. How many people know this? And say yɛnte aseɛ sɛ yɛyɛ Ghanafoɔ na yɛn saa na yɛteɛ ha ne yɛaba bɛfiri nti deɛ yɛwɔ bia yɛma yɛni nsɔ na yɛmmɔ ho ban na yɛmpromote a ɛbɛdu baabi no ɛbɛyera.
Medase lawyer.
Oh, see, I think I share the same opinion.
Yeah.
Ghanafoɔ yi deɛ yɛne yɛ sɛ Ghanafoɔ no is paramount. If it's a manager house yadwe if I may say mo UK na Ghanaian clients ni bi ba me nkyɛn for their issues a oba na me oba me no nkambrofo oba e be country what start you so home for madam country no de yenko ba what to tree miss me to tree anya brofo na mente na say me say what am go school na won say yenka tree no correct ntino say brofo a mete brofo no pa what you say good so anya brofo na mum no ye bedu ye die mu dia yenye ho say die and it's true say the natural say kan dodo na no okodu na hu mu a obi wo kwa yan no na say wo kwa da wo de kwa da wo say wo no obi yan no ho o free ha ya na ko ho say de nyina free ha ko ho ya na so me kapagre wo sire na so say de be say ya no ho ne de obetsere no so wa hia ne kwara ne ono ani din kura wo bo ne din kire wa na you take some minutes to understand edin be na wo bo no there is one musician be me person me bo ne din wo what is for the first time tin na me nyin so again ani because of how he was pronouncing his name or how they pronounce his name. Popular musician, but it took time for me to and I went to another beer and I thought it was a Nigerian boy. But Nina say said you know Sabio we are dear Ghana in way maybe to CJ why do you think I always want to be known by my name Chumberma? Nasabro for this movie. But when I come here on any platform that I appear, I want the name Chumberma to be sound well. Or to be pronounced, or to be called.
Who makes a brofo ne other nationals or money na Chumberma?
Or more bon as an pronounced. John got something I never with them. Say, I'm with for Alexander. Was it no almost then? On can tomb. Yeah. On can. It didn't get to. And say me didn't. But I mean, my name is my name.
Yeah.
Me babia. I mean, that name Chumberman must sound among your name.
Yeah.
It's your name. Kasa yekan, me atmuni, ye twini yaka. Ya tra ye kura si ya bompe dwuna si wo suna ne nkɔ ne bai. Sabi. Na ye nya ye wo mse ne ye ko school. So ko school dan ko kan. Fu be fi ya twi ya. Ye pon school na nam kwa zu ko fi ya from grade to krankan twi no a. Ani ade na mo. It is a name no. Unfortunately, and I met BB said na speaker said they want to change the language of parliament.
Yes, that issue has come up.
What me yakaye? What me yakaye? The late Tanzania president Paul Magufuli, mantiso wakambra fuda. Swahili nungwa. Swahili nungwa. CJ. He was one man that I really admire. Not me follow the pan, but sometimes I really want to understand what this man is saying. And so on, any brother no any brother no ni krom Swahili language ni kwa Kenya. What is this? Even Kenyatta.
Yeah.
For the Uhuru crowd.
Yeah.
Ono so sa Swahili no said then ono so kana wono enwa. Our language is our language. But unfortunately, and they you know, CJ, even me and prophecy mukrano, our language is English. The language of the house that I'm an officer of is English.
It's English, yeah.
Me wa no so obi oba ho no. Unu se mprepi no. omo eba ho no we client o watenase o ebi mpo na onwura bi the witness box mu but o tie proceedings no ya pon na go send lawyer and then e dey no mo kai ko de o kan bia wante brofo ne ya putogu I suggest to you I did this I that then ya keka gum bebre na aduma yen he 2.0 obisa tena ya ko ya nyina na mbacho ekusi sen
meti hobby de but ne o mo kan nyina amfam
basa otene krom so
otene krom
so that's it
Yeah, control become the
and the sanke de ba twi
yeah
I've done cases in the UK clients who are Ghanaian clients for no mokwa I tell them and ko young brofo me brofo no vision to me can be bra ye be country we will just get an interpreter in the court and do it for you Sane no but my one incident be one time Birmingham magistrate court ko case bi o na interpreter no ano interpreter tree ni ba brofo no that day na me shadow me senior barrister bi Adam Pipe and na me the court na papa ne kasa na interpreter ne chiri mu asama o kanu ne de won
chiri mu no de ba no ensisi so
lock ya bua papa ne se na me Ghana ni na meti wo binti
yeah
ana me twimba me sinya no what the man is saying there we ni kana enye the same this is what he's saying but the interpretation of the Bible no he's saying this so no so real yes I mean the language that he's speaking I'm a Ghanaian so I understand everything that he's saying and that is and then the all can no I don't know property court and I realize that even the judge in want to treat no cry was sensing something it's you learn the property was also no to cast no cry no as who is it looks like something is not adding up we have to pause that proceedings now I'm picking a new date and get a different interpreter because unfortunately that day no na so also different interpreter mra but be wow on bakone mra e be che
and then you also bet me aginem
no that be they will not allow that I mean say me interpreter
okay
those are me but my road there is not it's not to interpret and you know
absolutely
yeah my own
yeah
so then now say you pay new date and work so you kasa na indeed they Charles can Chinese bisu share na voa as one to brofo me why they are schooling with you in UK
yeah
one not classroom e UK ho e America ho ni to want to brofo and go see the class
yeah
na so no me sha bontia ne China no ngwa China no ngwa o di a sticks ana do kuta ne sen yanzu ke henke de ensan ne adi eda set ne ma
odo sakoto aduane mu abrochire a
yesu ekrase ano se
lawyer bida say Pagriff ma me so na fe yando su konkon nsem no anka nsem
CJ Ghana for penny ha na in fact in some of my Canadian no correct
yeah
you know niana ni osofo Charles kan na minim say uwa yesi o wejafie
and it's
my first time hearing it it's natural say mebusuafo we are not wrong say me mama eka baby yekosie no nature fie because nature efiche bi mama ne papa fiche bi and obe ware wo achemtafo inti na enye wrong inti mesia bebre
say obi wu na mo fom sie no abra yes wo be ka so de why na yesie no abra ne papa no ma ho kwan on timi tufunu no
wow
on timi ba be tufunu no e the body ne cop back
wow
e the kofie koto ba bia naja e de ne to ya
become the first na here say odi kan e prompt agano
ansa
my grandmother died at the age of 102 in 2018 owu ye no sabe ne papa wudi da ne papa kwa me kwa mameto no but I say a corner papa busuafo mu
kitwa kwara te se kwara ko
e ko boma ne ese mo ba no say na esi ansa na impo no mo be say date go ma say date everything that you are doing I was a jana busuafo na aka no should be part and parcel
okay
that's bia me wuna me yakokra me busuafo eso mko semu asante achim Dwaso honam papa fi I see that's nice anyway me de mini Ghana bakaso bebre a metumi aka tese na menu anu mpanifo yake but nya metumi aka ne say 1957 a repeat of that na watching because 5th of March 1957 was a Tuesday as it is today and Ochina 6th of March,
no,
Wednesday, as it will be tomorrow. Inti, now watching a repetition of 1957. It means Makebi. CJ, man, fine. But in some of us say, Otia Brochina, you know, country now, Beso Becano, a very, very common. I mean, me abrochi se me hu obi na se me hwe nipa no me tu hu so ye Ghana ni anama me ni age.
Yeah.
Because me show any man me tu say o ye Ghana ni na start ne wakatri me ni. So, but I think say about 2 years ago na me ni me ko sra no US na me ni din komo na me say na onye na ombre fie. E na mbisa say na wo fi hin. O ka tell so fi New Jersey. Me bufu efu ye. Because time on go New Jersey. No idea about 17 years old. And so since I already 43, but say of New Jersey. But I think so over and over again, we should try and write our mind. Am I who baby yefi? And even in our homes, you know, they say our modern homes in the baby honoma yen country. You know, brofun kwana yene in Kolanika inti. I see make you conscious effort and the betu your home. Go say me tree no say me buy na me tree no enya kra
but why are
there me tree no eja wo fa so for Charles wa here am ya cheche wo kakra iti e maganya phone ya afishapa
why are there me da se pa Edwin Emisa Painter and komanya twetwe say CJ if care is not taken those doing our various Bible translation will have no work to do in the near future. Many citizens are gifted with nice ideas but because of English, they mute their ideas and zip their mouth. There must be a solution. Good morning, Mr. Forsen. Okay, thank you very much. And Wayne should say, good morning, CJ. If you come to Germany, you have to pass the German language before you can get a passport or fixed paper.
It's true. It's true. Before you can become a German national and hold your passport, you must pass their Dutch language test before it's able to go through. It's true. True, it's true. So most of my friends, I mean, who put a German passport in Nano, they can speak the Dutch language.
Yasema, ukan ukrum kasa na utia. Na kayasemo. Ba ukan obi krum kasa na utia. Na e de ajenga na e de huru ni pakro. Ukan obi krum kasa. Na English yo obi kasa.
Obi kasa.
Ba jo obi kasa.
Obi kasa no.
Me kasa e de wo me den. Akan kasa. Ndizana na meka obi kasa na se utia. Na I jungle near Hurunipano.
And you know one funny thing, wouldn't say English language, you know. Per the British standard, no. They don't even accept America for at
David.
Say a cabro for
I am telling you, it is only the British. They speak English, and that is why anybody who is from there is called an English person.
Yeah.
You know, even America, when say America for they don't accept any other bodies. And Ghana, your first language is English. Interest who person in the UK, who English test.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we are not known to be speaking English.
Interesting. Piero Didon, it's a good topic you are discussing this morning, Mr. CJ. I say you will see most parents speaking English with their children at home. How can we promote our language? So the parents are also not helping. And also they are or they buy and no. You be come someone that pronounced angasa e ba kope but munko matwetwe no and na edro so. You dey say na e ma latex foam and the latex foam nim kunya papa e dey aba or the vein sofa range no. Yeah and no color bia pe bia obetimi enya bi obenya from sleek L-shaped vein sofa and no 3,100 cedis pe and so benya complete vein sofa set no for an unbeatable 6,500 Ghana cedis until we see we dwumem honum front desk me person see ho kala bia no later from nkomyen and American for the amount. It's time to elevate your living space with Latex Foam, your forever partner in comfort and luxury. Latex Foam, your partner for life. Game Park Games no so ekoso o dial star 946 hasha na pick 4 game no o do wan shemu bi 0 to 9 na wa pick wa download the app no so so bitime twa so now Adom TV 9 a.m. 12 noon and at 6 p.m. 3 live draws and at they brought from Monday to Sunday enti yentwa na nyasika fagu ukotokom. Game Park Games, more mula, more power. And on issues of LGBTQ plus, okay, but answer nebeko so no Banasco Ampon answer sensing this one. Or say interestingly, the best English students are those who speak Chi in the dormitory. Pa. One of our friends, Reynolds Atamorison, back in Ghana National College, never spoke English in dorm. but he was the best English student. Anyone who can speak good Twi speaks and writes good English. Just check. The best of all is Ekuya Buachua Adom of Adom FM. She does direct translation from English to Twi without missing a word or blending with Twi. Banasco Ampon. Answer and a day and also so a day abetumu. Answer near better no and mebo on penny voice and now share diplomatic call. And also then I drink anti-LGBTQ plus. Yeah, na sebeja for a pass. Yeah, train so man penny ebe sign na be yemra. Omampani de nanu di sem atuja ewo ho se we hu what say nipa bi de ko Supreme Court na o share diplomatic call no a ye ne o mahia ni nyina se ye be train Supreme Court judgment no ansana se ye be sign a ya sign in fact audio ni wa hanoma mebo ansana mako abejafo so enwa so finance ministry de krata ekoma omampani kire ne se ye wo budget support bi say ye nya free World Bank for her to the tune of some 3.8 billion US dollars. Yeah, so omampani assign sa bill into law. The one sign. All these issues have come up, but let's take a listen one more time to His Excellency the President, and then mention common say at the free orange house who to me Mako Palgrave ho na yakuwi lawyer Chumberima. His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo Enra.
Your Excellencies, I'm aware that last week's bipartisan passage by Parliament of the Proper Human Sexual Rights and Ghanaian Family Values Bill on a private member's motion has raised considerable anxieties in certain quarters of the diplomatic community and among some friends of Ghana that she may be turning her back on her hitherto enviable, long-standing record on human rights observance and attachment to the rule of law. I want to assure you that no such backsliding will be contemplated or occasioned. I think it will serve little purpose to go at this stage into the details of the origin of this proposed law, which is yet to reach my desk. But suffice it to say that I have learned that today a challenge has been mounted in the Supreme Court by a concerned citizen to the constitutionality of the proposed legislation. In the circumstances, it will be as well for all of us to hold our hands and await the decision of the court before any action is taken. The operation of the institutions of the Ghanaian state will determine the future trajectory of the rule of law and human rights compliance in our country.
Jim FM. Of Charles.
See,
Mamin Chelsea and free also.
Okay. As one pedika, me and young
And young one.
Oh, David, young one.
I didn't.
And he said, Sabin Penny for some for the training to us. As I'm here, you better know a dear Ben and Cassette and a DNA. On my penny call grantee interview. I think Yuki say me Buana will be actually. I just read it. And a year son of LGBTQ plus. Now, Jazira meaning no headquarters or a cutter.
Yeah,
Doha, one hour. I'm not sure some will be present or could be a Doha. Mean sure that I'm not sure. Sir King now what Doha no. The weapon say I can't a manus make us and call penino. Ceremonial figure. May yes sure say I Jazira for bit me an interview. I could be son say. Now dream our LGBTQ plus on a year, but I Jazira for Timina I could do because your men peninsula and Hawkine and will be son assassin. No be assassin. When Penyas can say Ghana de whom some sir. If you say any pa sabi was to be no money who did this now my idea a home como. Now the casa you want say it is bound to happen. I guess it Bibisa ABC and then Nanche Ghana for Bufu pa. The entire Bufu and say or your Mampeni yes or Ghana. Then so a Mampenia who do be Africa higher. Almost what Kasama ibit in the IS studio. Nempoya Mayemu, or a mills yamin for the currency. Or kind of preoccupy one Missy West. Or say me, or Mampeni at a mills. And yummy pencil. ne mmom sɛ mobɛba yɛ biribi nti deɛ mode bɛma yɛ nti ɛna yɛbɛgye saa de fo tantan wɔ yɛato mu no deɛ ɛne nka mofom adeɛ bakyɛ ɛdeɛ ne sɛ yɛwuyɛ yɛnie go and listen to Uhuru Kenyatta na ɔyɛ mampani with CNN current president of Kenya aya ɛnɛ ne nkasa ɛkɔhwɛ ne video na tie de ɔka kyerɛ CNN for afei Ugandan president I can't say Museveni listen to him Nigeria hayai on pass law say more than 15 years yes I think it's 30 years or something I didn't know I dear Ben Nesio Krunu Yamampeni Kamara Harris or say whatever Eba Cream I played that video nanko form
yesterday and Rami boy
Ompenia someone or can a fast I billion clearly or say and say or no on you interested or because I idea here no and nipa trouble man no Ompenia Ghana for a 7 day course for yajin what you know one Ghana for ankasa ukushia diplomatic call to go and assure them say bibi sa akra yensi na nkofo kra obi kra court won some see he's just preparing our mind say ono onye ready to sign any document because lawyer ambacho any paragraph me boa mbetima akai me yi levy abra na ye pass of parliament no obi the court me wa
and this minority
court yeah on pass of parliament we no now omampani assent me wa na some Supreme Court
yeah
or sanane answer Supreme Court kwa Emma ruling me wa I didn't see it tinde de na aba say yakoshe obi echi o say den na ya push it on court no fan go Supreme Court na Supreme Court for delay na enye na so mampani opa on sign opa ma on sign we ya nhye no ba me Christian Messiah Ganani minim say aware wo hoyi aya amamre ni amane nti yen yamamre mu no oba ne oba enware oba ne oba ntimi twempra be ma ne be ma ntimi twempra e ochiwade ma yen me as Ganani yem pene so me metu me hofo metu masore masofo Kristo ni bia so me hye ne bia so metu no fo aya simple as ABCD every say sabi mpani fo so wanya bibia mo ase ayemo no kro no ade ben ana yehu sa wo ba me pesia so an grandson of 8 years ni fi ni ho fi nsi ho na eno NC bibia ansa ama yensan emma ho kwan na but when was the last time a president addressed poverty in this country cause here or when was the last time ompani address poverty I can't want some. You can't unemployment want some. And the human rights issue. Here human rights issue. Unemployment human rights issue. If fear the area bakurimu and now you go to your hospitals. I hold on. How many of them they standard? Sabi and there's also yarena so free on kranza. Domiabra and also open he and I will seek our cranka. We are not say you do hospital. You should be a bit show. I know the Omampani ni ameka ho asem oni international community akoka ho asem gayism lesbianism bokuru nyame chiri na bibia anya me bufu se me ba ma wo no obi betimi adada no kwan bi so amane hu se oye oba but onye oye be ma but onye oba yeti kroimu kasa so Donald Trump oyobi a me mentor no me don na me penasem yi nti because I would over fear onya fe say me timi hwe Donald Trump video sa mane bo anajo be 1 AM because me tie no 24/7 eno na me hwe ba ko bi we so dwana o say onim say America no eye Kristo no nim no
on that position yes
they should turn and go back to Christ or the America cassette ya gayism lesbianism. And so the campaign gave for support to say yes or Casacreti on support no. Or the American na or Mujitum say young man worry man or no. And I say you American opposition leader or more powerful than a AU chairman or so. Many who say can African president Ukraine here we are saying say it will be a AU chairman or equal chairman. Or Americans as well. Cassette against him. Because I see the first thing you say, Sakali column no be abase. Akola bia betime decide say opeso your oba na be man. The first day in the office will be twam. Our America also be twam. Obetwam. And opportunity onim say community of gays ewo ho. Onim say Democrats no omuji sa na ma fini ma boni nyame achiwade wetum because you see Obama buy na a gay din lesbian a course ro kese because the Democrat akwaya waba
Biden
ohunu fam kwa 190 ono so abeji dia matum o say wiase
thank you very much
yeah o say wiase man kofu wu Ukraine
matos president no
fam
on aba shem kina na ye kuro ha ye tie so o mampani Akufo-Addo de wabe nyina magana fo nyina achi se wo kwa de wodi gya ye ni ntimi de sije me man no siram nyina to so asamba akwa na maka choma mampani Akufo-Addo me bunu pa me respect ne pa me de ni die esefata nyina ma no me ntimi nkasa ntia no ba me ka che no and I want to assure him say opa on sign the Christian community about advice here let us
Adom 106.3 FM also for Charles Owusu, independent parliamentary candidate of Nkranza North. And what ne enkano and rap me boy sa audio and rap boy that was a US Vice President Ghana no and it was on this LGBTQ conversation beside Vice President no okasa wi no mampeni so ekasa but I am interested in bia ye mampeni ekasa so let's take a listen me we amekọ paragraph honum na fi me we media producer nti omo ye ho adwuma it will come into the system na mama boy no so let's take a listen to the president.
So thank you for the question. First of all, we don't have any such legislation here in Ghana. A bill has been proposed to the Parliament of Ghana which has all kinds of ramifications, which is now being considered by the Parliament. It hasn't been passed, so the statement that there is legislation in Ghana to that effect is not accurate. No legislation. The bill is going through the Parliament. It's going through the Parliament. The Attorney General has found it necessary to speak to the committee about it regarding the constitutionality or otherwise of several of its provisions, and the Parliament is dealing with it. At the end of the process, I will come in. But in the meantime, the Parliament is dealing with it. And I have no doubt that the Parliament of Ghana will show, as it's done in the past, first of all, its sensitivity to human rights issues, as well as to the feelings of our population, and will come out with a responsible response to the proposed. The legislation was a legislation that is being provided as a private member's bill.
Anti Amampani and Adom Akufo-Addo and Ebra US Vice President Kamala Harris about Ghana. Sankomoy Ekoso. Beautiful.
And no paid yet. A very, very critical conversation.
Extremely.
Now, Mamindi Kain, it's a bill, no. A first reading, second reading, committee for a consideration. And a called third reading. Now, a private members bill, sponsored by some members of parliament from minority side and a few from the majority side, but passed by the entirety of parliament. A people's representation, Ghana people's representation. Na CJ me wakrata bi wa hanom me pese me kan kakra almost say while most bills are expected to come from the executive level, members of parliament can initiate legislation through private members bill. Into bill ye kan ho asema parliament a pass no private members bill enye bill like executive executive akwenya to assent and then to implement because bill be out the be and not just say state institutions in India are ready for implementation. I mean can because in never be a sibida. I no ebe boying inform your decision. Or say while most bills come from the executive level, members of parliament, MPs, to initiate bills, MPs have not exercised this right because of the lack of resources or expertise needed to draft legislation. Interestingly, in reality, most of the impact on policy initiatives comes in the form of informal consultations between MPs and ministers. Statements on the floor of the House impact policy formation. Near can say, private members bill. Many a times, I resources and akwenya na odebenya their sponsors are bill any honum. Into most of times, who say a BC that until this recent one, it's private members bill. Now, Mamika Yasemi Kakra. Or say, however, it is difficult to distinguish the catalyst, a member of parliament making a statement on the floor that leads to legislative action by the executive, or the executive starting work on an area that leads to a statement of a member of parliament. According to the government officials, where Kratebia, I check a cry, agents say your Independence Week in my court Justice VACRC Cram in Kratani Biaba, a beboy, Semikasano, a dosu Kakransana, you win a goes as a I say, according to the government officials, Ebenezer. I don't know so for
no, it's you because we are. I saw him saying in the crack no. When you know,
no, we pass this level.
Yeah, no. Private members bill. Yeah, sponsor. Bill now up through all the process.
Government spokesperson
according to
governance and security
government officials. Ebenezer old krata medeba.
Okay.
And Justice VCRAC Crab. Members of parliament seldom initiate bills. Or say the majority of legislation begins as a proposal to a ministry or a department of the government. From there, a cabinet memorandum is drafted and approved by cabinet in principle for the drafting of a bill. Or say then drafting instructions are sent to the parliamentary council to have the official bill drafted. Once the bill is drafted, the lawmaking process in parliament begins. Now, according to Article 108, members of parliament can initiate any bill. One private member's motion was measures to remove algae in marine waters, introduced by Mr. Lee Okran of the NDC party. He asked Parliament to urge the government of Ghana to take appropriate measures to remove all algae in the marine waters of the Jomoro district, which have greatly affected the livelihood of the people in the area. Even the opposition recognized that the problem was taking an international dimension. However, like many private members' motion, the motion died prematurely due to the lack of support. Inti Makanyeri, Sesiano, your bill BI did not die. I'll go through all the processes. Parliament has passed it. Now, it's say private members' building, Tino. Omampeni na nado dan kweku fado endra ne kasa ya o kasa ye with the diplomatic corps. Na me fan to ho say every time bia ye be the independence bia also for Charles. Omampeni I offer diplomatic corps. Enyo mudi nkomo. Inti we standard practice. Enye say bia LGBT assemblity na abo Omampeni afre diplomatic corps. Every independence time bia on sebi onoma ye invite you munya mobile independence celebration no to Omampeni shi omo no onyo mudi nkomo nti enu bi na ye na ndra no ena Omampeni de nsem ni bi e de to honom emo te ase say eyampa private members bill no parliament a pass it nanso sa bill no kra nyamba be do ne ho mbambe do ne desk so na esan say enyamba be do ne desk so no ono or train ama baba be do ne desk so esan say obi a ono so yes citizen of Ghana e de bill no Mpensenpensenmu ni bi akɔ court a the Supreme Court of Ghana. Yes, you name Ghana say the Supreme Court of Ghana no.
Progressive. Only one background there some no according Supreme Court.
Debut, I just catch me. So
you speak for the government. And your president is referring to a said case idea.
I don't think it would be difficult to find out.
What do we need court written?
Me patcho me debi me family hu. Me patcho debi me hu. Me patcho me.
Mampeni hu baby what this one dey hu.
Me de me hu.
Wo gidi so mampeni hu.
Oh patcho so mampeni aka dey a me gidi so. Say Supreme Court no. Nsem bi e be koso bia no. O mampeni e bete ho asem. Me de mentie ba metumi akwa kobisa nti CJ bi at 12 o'clock no afrɛ me midday news na me kwa kobisa say when they call ye say court ne eyi ho ma me de bema ohu ama Ghana fo ehu nti o mampeni say senia absem na akopie Supreme Court no o twɛn ama Supreme Court no e de imuayaba na esan say we na ye private members bill nti no ese say ye to ye bo na ye hwehwɛ mu ye esan say ekeye executive bill and no ya ye ho inhwehwaye aye ho preparation bia aye ho state ebe any agency ebe implementing nya no we no eye private members bill inti ese hwehwɛ ho ye suffice to say for me as a Christian, a pastor, senior pastor Osofo Charles Wahi yenim so nyankopon oba eni obema and of fremo Adam and Eve enye Adam and Steve and I say Evelyn and Eve obomu Adam and Eve inti yen ye Christopher de yenim say no nyankopon bo no nanso madwendwen nsɛm bi ho a mepɛ sɛ Osofo wɔ ha di ɔtrɛmase sɛ yɛsɛ nsɛm bi si wɔ heaven a onyankopɔn ɛto obi ba asase so. In fact, Jesus Christ kra ba no say the king of Persia is here. Inti me de megidi say this new world order na ye wom ni de. Nsɛm bebre besisi. Eno tren yen say ewiye no as ewiye no yaben ya. Inti ewiye no yaben no onyankopɔn say yen we are in the world but we are not of the world. Ni say nti say je niema bebre niema we are beto abon bi anya say agitu mu no. You get it? Yes. Now so na make say the way a king of Persia na ba ono de esesi a ne niema na opeso ye ne de obeso obeye no se ne obeye na nti ye no na ese ye boy ho ban as a Christopher senia ye ni ye mba ye betete omo ene ye kwan ye bomo mu afaso. So because king of Persia ne de ne obeye bia obeye ama na hinie no wa asase so atre ne de obeye enti me bompaya magana say decision bia ye beye no yen hwe say enkonko ye extremely discriminatory esan say unse omu hiamboa minister of Charles de ewie no me wi a me ni be din komo say omu a obi a ne orientation aye say oye bema nyankopɔ abono bema so oye oba no hiamboa enti yen no aye asofo na yenim nyankopɔn asɛm no ɛsɛ ye hwɛ sɛ ne betumi atrɛtrɛ mo esan sɛm nema ne bi wono ma ye psychological so medical medicine nso kyerɛ sɛ wo ne obema ɛda ɛho sunsuaseɛ ɛho sunsuaso ɛwɔ hɔ no medically ɛho sunsuaso nso ɛwɔ hɔ no biblically any spiritually nya enti ɛsɛ minister of Charles any Christopher ye hwɛ ne a ye betumi aboa omo amom orientation no akoyie.
Okay. But maybe that's a personal question. Where do you stand? Omampani bill no on signing and I'm on sign. I'm asking a very personal question.
Oh, na ready nyagopo. Na Charles CJ.
Yeah.
Semia obisa me die. Omampani Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo. Or your lawyer. Or your human rights lawyer. Said, are you a human being?
Maybe some straightforward question.
That's what we go for. Me, your company. Me don't be some so be some man say me to be a travel. Say, me. Say me na come your company. But me your company. Na for to me swaba.
On sign. And I'm on sign.
To you.
To me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So company sign.
And I'm on sign.
And I say one sign.
Yes.
Na CJ pa. Two very my lawyer. Advocate. Ese we dey so ba mu.
Program go chidan kwa.
Kakra.
Mebisa question.
Let's be to me.
Ojunka. OCA bacho uni mami ka se mi ansa lawyer bam. O kan nyame asem ho. Nyame nyansem no. Nyame timi sa yare nyina ba on sa jimi. Ntina school enyi jimi mfiri ho. Na me bo. Nipa no ho. Obi enu o tie aduane o de hye ne hwenim anana som. Ensu amini paragraph igui enumi ene hunim betimi de akọ ne mu amana yi na som betimi de akọ ba ne nyansa nyame de amana no e kire ne se yenu nsu fa ya no anamboa
no kre
se me yenu ya manum kre kwa awo so se kwan na da nipa bia ho na nya ba akọ pe e ma de nya ba akọ akọla na ya pan na ya pan ne fa ba bi foforo na ya pan ne fa ba bi se onyame nyansa mu de ato enu nti we argument bia ni ho Binu yakofa a 19 bef 30 asema.
BAC crap.
Look, Oko Bible man, Bonnie Nyamia describe. And that time prescribe Bonia Udia and she said on Moses time. Yes, you buy no and obey ye free ho. Then so Nipanyan say Munyami and Chre and say Yamfa constitution to on my home. Yeni who says I nyamra am found 3 and 1. The obia pen obey. Ebiem the team will be no more run a car for the betiso. And inti be obokro don. Ono so ye tunufo. Near Casache and because I got to a fiase. Cocrono, Boliviana comedy no. Ebiana BB soon could be a bisanya crime bisana over church, but a china number actually and say Yamfan Emma and Ranam Ranading Indi. Ti adea bia ye share bit me di eni penya. Kokro di ni penya anamboa sabi so bi ko hye ne ho akomfoa se kan nka oban fa ho ba hye ho akomfoa na so wanwu a aban no bedi anamboa
no kre
no anya sa na tie enti we no yame asem na de kan kwade de kan yame asem be mu pe na ne senka ye nuanu kwade ni kwa so kedi om kan ye ho kwade e ma na yiyi enti we de o man pani as I was saying, but also saying all choice.
Okay,
we advise ourselves.
Talk me that say lawyer I'm Broadway.
CJ
Council.
The correct planning and from this week, I mean, mostly from today, and I say 15 rand. I'm just 13 rand, and 3 rand best in econ.
Yeah.
Nyankopon Adom me the proper and clear position of the Naro Kufuor in Nabai. To say, or may I tell you, who say, or no, and not by Mufuin, including the vice president, will be a support to gayism. They are in full support of lesbianism, gayism, transgender. There's a plus, and they support it because I did air coach air cobain. I said that Mamma we went to in position beyond entry Ghana for. But the Peninsula number nursing for the number not as a baby and never be in Peninsula, baby, I could not house and the danger.
Never
in the Bajana. And to the now down a position to mean different from Baumia position. Until no one can be no. Automatically, baby and the boss is in a while on the Sujana. Now, dear Mamma, Thomas and another damn cock for the name of Baumia and not buy moon enough for no per se game Ragan and say. Said a child's kind. A bready kind again was some man penny or to see. I wanted you to have played the President the other moment. I mean, I ready. Is it ready?
Yeah,
but about just some few.
The late former
President
Mills. Okay, his take on LGBTQ.
No one can deny Prime Minister Cameron his right to make policies, take initiatives, or make statements that reflect his societal norms and ideals. But he does not have the right to direct other sovereign nations as to what they should do, especially where their societal norms and ideals are different from those which exist in Prime Minister Karam's society. I, as president of this nation, will never initiate or support any attempts to legalize homosexuality in Ghana.
Okay.
I, as a president, I will never initiate and so on phrase now or support and so on quotation so and show biachi and kasa nipa no nkwe se ni en kasa obi na eyo ensi wona penso sige wase he has no right to direct another country,
a sovereign country,
as to what they should do. Sige somebody who is rated equivalent to president in another country, prime minister, when president, because England, the ceremonial president is the king or the queen, depending on who is there at that time. And the prime minister is more or less the political figure or the leader of, the government. And the or equivalent to presidency. And no man answers no. Sige. Yenya current president. Satuno. Ongo Canada. Tido Kanye. Wase. Omana mi free mu no wase ha mi gina obi sam say question UK ha no. Some time ago na yenyi gain to mo ha. Na pressure bi na ba ye man nti ha no say asamra na ma ya atom. Na me hu ne say Ghana de pressure na ma ye ntia. Na say pressure ne ba ebi ana ye so be say yigina bi. O man pani o Ghana man pani o. Adudan kokufu ado. Ana ko kana sa e wo UK bonte so. Na ma anika sam. Same platform na chance o kan ye na ana site. E hona na Museveni ne government Kenya dance ko kan mo de no. The same spot, the same venue. Now, when we call Commonwealth leaders meeting, it's the same place. No, Tanakandia. Now, one and the other two is about Tanakan. There's only one Chrome dear. And so, and now it's here. I can say Uganda. What the kind? What didn't the atom? Above we saw the young was a new drain watcher. Nami de Micromo had dear. They may be some yano and my friends are me. Won't Tiasia, we share dime be an ordinary do table. And you quit, baby. CJ. Now, your man pennies were a lawyer. Now, Okasa your human rights issues in Parliament will consider. I want him to understand today, be an referee. No human right in this world is absolute. Where necessary, it can be interfered with, or it will be interfered with. Where necessary. UK. Terrorism started again. One more year, maybe say, you chew in terrorist act, and say you are into terrorism. You can be jailed without trial. Me, we say, is that not against human right? In the sign a whole country like England, I almost say they uphold human rights. I to say, some men which one material is a suspect to say me terrorism activities are.
On suspicion.
I can be arrested and detained without trial. Abandon it me, Yamnasa. See, sure. Mama Benisa, Obi Echo Court into our trend is Supreme Court. You see. The Nakufado has remained hypocrite to say over the Odeko of the hypocrisy of this man and in his government. When it was passed, NDC minority caucus echo Supreme Court no bisi wako. You are in a haste to sign it into law. 3 days, you pass it, Marano. 3 days. And my sign is 11. 3 days. All signing no na NDC for minority agents Supreme Court. I challenge that law. When young Botran Chanwam. A do get yesterday. Get the Antony. You passed it on last week Thursday. See, you passed it last week Thursday. As at and I'm here to confirm it. And I'm here to say Obisu Court and which is Monday. The law was passed last week Thursday.
The bill.
So
the
bill was passed last week Thursday by Parliament. And no Monday near Tessa will be so court. CJ, and no. So Nipana who said me mouth there's a comparison I'm when ye.
Yeah.
11 and they had gone to court even before said what is over sign. In this matter, no, the law or the bill has been passed. Obviously, it's going to come to you. But what don't know about bedroom chen? What the can say? What to say? You see, or be or court inti.
When you do court to her.
What's you? Me no tell you because you be anyone and the near side end of the proceedings of that suit. No. Won't be an media for won't be good. Eti yenye hu adekode no. Ani adekode for team power or say court nimpo and come on as be a court in chain man and we don't even know. O man panina one nya hu ade no cabinet me hu say so obi so court to no say wo twen. Ha. Goodness and mercy. One waban. Paragraph. One waban. I'm not surprised you couldn't even answer the question of Buzawan. Also now because that is the position of that government. They support and encourages gayism and lesbianism. Right? America was saying, in her country, America, there is a case called what do I don't know?
Sure.
There's a case called Murphy and Ramsey. Murphy and Ramsey case was a case that was reported in the year 1885. Do you know the purpose of that case? It doesn't matter the year of in law. The year of the case doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's still valid. It's law.
Yeah.
In duty and my own said no, it is still valid today. Once I hear anything contrary to it, it's still valid. Some way that case you won't bury it. Nothing. Even nothing. The idea na say. Wafa man mienu atena fie cohabiting with them ono mienu twempena na America wo mna say wo mmra mu no they don't support anything polygamy. It is a unya belief mpo say belief wogidi kura say polygamy ya de pa kura keka emra no a wo mo de adwuma ne say se ya chew mpo on the belief no mpo a tije you buy final $500 one and an incarceration of not less than 5 years. Over them. And normally when the law say and I just said me and you together. It's you ever final assign jailu because what person we have polygamy within worry me no. Would you tell me say only me no cry Obama worry me no aye. Sadwem pono ko a work can within ko jail wo. And we no be ka kire me no mienu ye kurom ha se ono ne man mu no be ma ene be ma mienu timi gwade na wonu se betafata bodansa ba ko wo ho mema mienu ehia na ba ko se ba ko ye no so ono yo ba na ba ko so ye no so ono ye be ma na wonyare ya se na se wo to mo se a man and a woman must stay together.
Yes.
By that act alone.
Yes.
A man mienu so no one of them act as a man and one act as a woman. Someone nyarea, that is a confirmation that you also believe that a man and a woman must live together. And you think that because you have accepted that in your country, Ghanaians have spoken through Parliament. Parliament is Ghana. Parliament is Ghana. Ghana finance Ubia Wabandani or Parliament. And woman ya parliamentarians akasa se yempe and woman tie you friend to mako pass sembra no and that speaker through question na pass sembra no was say all those in support say aye we say aye yatin bebre those against say no yanti no tini yo yanti no natural say woman not them when na say that day so woman na ko aduma 275 nya na ko ya that is woman nya ya den adito
to me
to wom ayen and yahu mobam wo mayo ana wo se wo bisi wo court nti won san me say wa bɔ ne hu de yawo sije samra we se mampani asanya wonne na ban nyanka hu se wo mo different na wo asan
lawyer
sije because we will ensure that they will not remain in power. They will go to opposition. Because one time they said they don't want to uphold the morals that we Ghanaians we have. What if that what me share are you okay? And our president doesn't see anything wrong with any citing human rights. It is also human right for somebody to tell you, say, me so me transiano, me who se chance ata dey share the phone with scapa and me so ma call rob no. And you right to also go and rob you.
Now so me say. So yes, sorry, so just
asame dia sempa itia na me nua twumbere ma akan.
Lawyer no musuo.
Do kan nya me na ya adwen.
No musuo.
Asame ne say me dia me yan say.
Okay, but no musuo kra nyina bi.
Unu say omampanya be de che vice president Mahmoud Bawumia na asame ya me bobo pa o. Na asame ya me ya.
Edin o.
De tie ne say oye kramuni ono ye misan sa asem mpo. E haram. Enso so kwede ekoso. Because you see, Sasa we know, we had the finance ministry, the attorney general can't ye. You know, say, yeah, almost can't pay, almost any pay, say Ghana for, yeah, a band with ye. Yep. Some more pa, yen, the young yadi bear who be bearding at the amount. Ghana for Yadiana. Look, dear who cram who cram say, young Mrada Emma, Anyamra, who must uncle for more accident. Because when you say, I'm not say a man near a mamre chintino. So you be walk in Krumkrumswa, yet chiwa. I some kase pa o they mo say mra ho boni pa ho ban dia ye chine dem be famra eden ye dem be famra kwanso enti those people are and then who say so say think tanks say one near yi omo no enye omo sika nyina you can say European countries in dem home enti obi ho no kasa asem na me ne ho nye no anwa because it's expected say any pa no e be go for those can say any ma foot and time say but so they can the language is clear. Yeah, we see for parliament, Yamishra, Omakasa on our behalf. 100%. Over Oman Musuni Pasuswak. Over 99% of Ghanaians say Yampe. Now, at least 1% in 99%. And you pay.
Was one of us a John account? Yeah. Wasn't never 5%. It depends.
So my pennies will choose 1%. No, you're 99%.
On fine.
On one answer. That's it. Paragraph. Yes, sorry, ne krakra no. Ne Ghana 40.
Ne krakra ne say John Mahama so opposition on LGBT. Nti aya na mo boy no so. Why? Tamil City we wuko.
Na say JM de Nansen Okokufodua.
Aya na mo boy.
Nansen ya oye building Ghana to Okokufodua. Ekoche so no oye Assemblies of God ni. Na ne somo no enche ne say onje. Sir,
MB before communicators and Mr. Wigmabi. Woman in any leave. It's a week here, goes in as you can, woman you leave. Because it will be difficult for any of them, including even information minister, to set a position. None of them can set any position. CJ, woman come at their water, who say, yes, how much mean country. Because their father likes it.
CJ Magana for Afishapa.
Their father likes it.
Happy 67th.
One was a catcher of the game.
Independence.
But can't get one some trouble. And the Ghana for was over. Microphone is when Kagum. No with you.
Magana for Afishapa. Happy 60.